Good morning, everyone. Last two Mishnayot of Masechet Megila Perek Daled Mishnah Tet. Haomer Yevarechucha Tovim. So the Mishnah is continuing where we left off on the last Mishnah with a list of people that do things that disqualify themselves from leading the tzibur, Ashaliat tzibur. So this person, let's say this person says, Yevarechucha Tovim, that we should, the people that bless you should only be the good people that bless you. So we say Harezu Derech Minut. That is the way of the non-believers. Meaning, we as Jews, though there are righteous people and there's maybe some not so righteous people, or even Rishaim, even wicked people, they are all still included in Bnei Israel, and that's why we say on Yom Kippur that we have the ability, right, to pray with the non-righteous. And in the Ketoret, one of the Besamim was an awful smelling one, but when mixed in with the good smelling ones, it brought together a good smell. Everyone is included. So if someone says we should only be blessing the good people, or only the good people should bless you, right? That's kind of excluding the Rishaim from the nation, then that's not correct. The next thing, Al kan tzipor yagiu rachamecha. So we have the mitzvah of Shiluch HaKan, that when a person finds a nest of a kosher bird with the mother bird sitting on the eggs or on the chicks, and we send the mother bird away, and we take the eggs. So one could look at it like it's compassionate that you're sending the mother bird away, making sure that she doesn't see her children being taken. So therefore, a person, let's say, wants to give a blessing to his friend. He says, God should be compassionate on you, just like He's compassionate on the bird that we send away. So that is also incorrect, because even though we look at that story and say, yes, there's compassion here, but this person is using the mitzvah and looking at it as compassion, which he shouldn't. We should look at the mitzvot as they're gezerot from Hashem, they're decrees from God, and Hashem has His reasons for why the mitzvot. It could look to us like it's compassionate, but we don't define it specifically as compassionate. So therefore, just say Hashem should have compassion on you, and don't translate that into the way you want to translate mitzvot.
Can you just pick up the eggs and then put it back in?
You could put it back in afterward. Yes.
In case you
Might come back, or in case other people want to do the mitzvah afterward.
or the bird will come back and sit.
So they say that the bird doesn't. It smells when you. But sometimes you put gloves back on, so the bird does come back, and then you get someone else. So in Israel, there's newspaper ads. There's a nest over here, nest over there to go do the mitzvah. Yeah. So next, ve'al tov yizacher shemecha. Let's say a person says you should only bless Hashem on the good things. Don't bless Hashem on the bad things. That's also incorrect, because we do bless Hashem even though things look bad to us. We recognize that everything Hashem does is for the good. We bless Hashem even in those situations. And the most common case is when, God forbid, someone passes away. When we tear the clothing, we make a bracha, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, dayan ha'emet, that God is the judge of truth, and we're blessing God, Baruch, at that moment, even in the saddest of times. So we bless God in the good times, and we do bless God even in the sad times, for us recognizing that Hashem is the God of truth. So if someone says that the judge of truth, so even though someone says just bless God in the good, that is incorrect. Next is modim ot modim. If a person says modim twice, and you know his kavanah is to, God forbid, think that there's two powers out there, a power of good and a power of bad, then that is also, of course, meshatkinoto. In these cases, we quiet him down and we send him off of the Shaliach Tzibur podium. Hamechane ba'arayot meshatkinoto. The next is, if a person, God forbid, downplays the adultery, sins that are in the Torah, the person downplays it, or he translates the psukim, say, no, it's okay, it means this, or it doesn't mean that, it's not as strict as the rabbis taught us, then we quiet him down, and of course, it's the way that the Torah says it, the way that our Chachamim learned the psukim. So to Haomer umizaracha lo titen lehavir lamolech, the Torah says, you should not have your children going in front of the molech, which is a type of avodah zarah. You should not, offer your children to idol worship. But if, let's say, a person mistranslates it on purpose to say umizaracha lo titen le'abera le'armayuta, You shouldn't have your children, lehavir could also mean ibur of pregnancy, meaning a person could translate it by saying, don't get a lady pregnant in order to bring to Avodah Zarah. And here it's talking about a non-Jewish lady. So they want to say, you can't get a non-Jewish lady pregnant if your intention is to bring the child to Avodah Zarah, to idol worship. But you can get a non-Jewish lady pregnant if that's not your intention. So of course that's a misconstrued way of learning the verse. But if someone does that, then we quiet him down. We quiet him down with like screaming at him that you are misunderstanding the pasuk and mistranslating it and doing it for your own benefit. The last Mishnah, we talked about that there was a person reading the Torah, and back in the day, someone that was translating it. So the Mishnah is going to tell us there are some times that certain things weren't translated. Maaseh Reuven, the story of Reuven, where the Torah tells us after Leah passed away, Reuven took the bed of Yaakov, and which was put in Rachel's home, and when Leah passed away, and he put it in Bilhah's home. Right? Was it that, or was it was taken from Bilhah, put into Leah? So when Rachel passed away young, Yaakov Avinu's main bed was in Rachel's home. Now that Rachel passed away, he took the bed out and he put it in Leah's home. When Rachel passed away, Yaakov took his own bed and put it in Bilhah's home, Bilhah was the maidservant of Rachel, to continue the legacy of Rachel. Reuven felt that was an embarrassment, and he took the bed from there and put it in his mother's tent, which was Leah. And the way the Torah says it is the Vayishkavet Bilhah, that it sounds like Reuven slept with Bilhah. That's the literal translation. So the story of Reuven is read by the Torah, but we don't translate to the people, so the people don't get misunderstandings of the story. Ma'aseh Tamar Nikra'u Metargem. The story of Yehuda and Tamar is read and translated, because even though the story might look a little bit off, but there are points from the story that are even correct for the layman, where you see at the end of the story where Yehuda admits that he was at fault, and that is a very important lesson. Ma'aseh Egel Rishon Nikra'u Metargem. The story of the golden calf is read and translated for the people. And it says here the story for the first time it's mentioned. The second time it's mentioned, Vasheni Nikra Velo Metargem. What does it mean the second time that it's mentioned? The second time is when Moshe comes down and Aharon tells Moshe what happened. There it says, Vayetzeh Ha'egel Hazeh. And then the gold was thrown in, and this calf came out. And the way it makes it sound is like the calf was like walked out on its own, and it makes it give it more power than it actually was, and therefore we don't translate it so people don't get the wrong impression. Birkat Kohanim, Maaseh David ve'Amnon, lo nikraim ve'lo metargemim. So here nikraim ve'lo metargemim. So this Birkat Kohanim is read but not translated. Why not translated? So there it says, Yisa Hashem panav elecha. The last. So Yisa Hashem, that Hashem should turn His face toward you and give you extra compassion. But there's psukim that tell us that Hashem is lo meso panim v'lo tikach shochad. Hashem doesn't favor or take bribery. Hold on, in Birkat Kohanim it says Hashem's going to turn His face to you and show you favor. So, but for the layman, it might look like, oh, God's not just. But we know that there's a difference between bribery and a judge even showing favor. Not getting bribed, but he recognizes, even though this person committed the sin, committed the violation, but I could see in his heart he didn't mean to, he didn't this, and he gives him extra compassion. So that's what we're going for when Hashem says, Yisa Hashem and Birkat Kohanim. But as far as, shochad, or God, let me do this sin, and I'll do extra mitzvot here, just, cover me up on this one. He doesn't take bribery. But for the layman, so it might not be understood fully, so we don't translate Birkat Kohanim. Maaseh David ve'Amnon, story of David and Amnon. In short, over there, it is David is called Ben David, the son of David, like it's an embarrassment for David HaMelech, so we don't translate it to the people. Ve'en maftirim b'merkava ve'Rabbi Yehuda matir. there's a machloket if we do a haftarah of Maaseh Merkava, which is the chariot at the beginning of Sefer Yechezkel, the chariot of God in Shamayim, which is very Kabbalistic, very deep. So there's the discussion if we do a haftarah of it or not. And Rabbi Yehuda says yes, and the halacha is like him. I don't know which haftarah it is, or if we actually do haftarah, because technically you can do haftarah with the Maaseh Merkava. And the last line here, Rabbi Eliezer Omer, En maftirim behodat Yerushalayim. Rabbi Eliezer says we do not do a haftarah from the 16th chapter of Yechezkel, Hodat Yerushalayim, which talks very bad about when the destruction of Yerushalayim. It talks very, very bad about Jerusalem, about what happened. It's like too much for us to handle. But the halacha is that we're actually not like Rabbi Eliezer. I'm not sure again if there is a haftarah of this, but technically the halacha is that you can, though Rabbi Eliezer says that you cannot. Baruch Hashem, we did an accomplishment of finishing the entire Masechet Megila and Mishnayot. Chazaku Baruch. So I did ask the group what's next, and I did get answers from both sides. So I think actually what Mr. Ochayon suggested is what I'm going to go with, is that Bezrat Hashem next week we will start Megillat Esther and going with the Gaon Mevilna's explanation. But we'll do that until Purim, and then once Purim is finished, however much we get done, we'll save it for next year around Purim time and finish the rest of Megillah. I don't think we're going to finish it all. And then after Purim, we will start Masechet Pesachim Mishnayot. We'll see how much we get done there. We'll see after Pesach what we're going to be up to. We'll figure it out then. But next week, God willing, we will start Megillat Esther. Chazaku Baruch. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen. Rabbi Chananya ben Akashia Omer, Ratzah HaKadosh Baruch Hu lezakot et Yisrael lefichach חיבר להם תורה ומצוות שנאמר אדוני חפץ למען צדקו הגדיל תורה וידיר